So, speaking again of Rusty, Prince of Pinot,
Mm-hmm.
like years and years and years, like he has set the bar really freaking high of like how he feels about your wine.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel any pressure of like, I hope not to disappoint you?
The first time he called, and I knew who he was.
Right.
I don't have his number saved, so I had no, I just answered, hello, Privé Vineyard. And I think it was pretty early in the morning. I like hadn't had all my coffee yet. And he's like, "Oh, it's Rusty from Prince of Pinot." I'm like, "Okay, okay, what can I do for you?"
Right, right.
And he like starts talking, and I was like, it dawned on me like 5 minutes into the conversation who I was speaking with, and
Right.
that he has been such a compliment to Privé wines for so long,
Right.
and had such a beautiful relationship with Tina as well that that kind of grew out of his love for Privé wines, and I got a little shaken on the phone.
I could imagine.
And honestly, it was such a beautiful conversation. He was so easy to talk to, and I'm so excited. He bought a bunch of the wines I've made for Privé as well, and
Right.
he got them last year, and so I'm just giddy to to see what he has to say about them.
Right.
But yeah, and it'll be an adventure. Like we said, 2020 was an interesting year, and so
Yeah.
I think the biggest hurdle there is probably overcoming what we think the wine should be,
Right.
as a general wine drinking community. We've all been in those rooms or at those tables where someone's sipping a glass of wine or enjoying a glass of wine or a tasting, and based on something that the person who's pouring the wines has said, or what they may know about the weather that happened generally in Oregon or in the Pacific Northwest or something, they may, like a lot of, and I do it as well, form opinions about wines before I truly taste them. And so it'll be really interesting, I think, to see what people think about the 20s. I think Oregon wineries as a whole have worked really, really hard to put out the places that have put out red wines tried really hard to put out, phenomenal wines. And I feel like we all kind of are in the same theory as if it wasn't perfect, we wouldn't release it.
Right. Exactly.
And so, we're all putting our best foot forward. And so,
yeah, no.
But to get Rusty to taste wines, I've read Rusty's reports since I was a little kid, and so for him to be tasting wines that I've made is pretty crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, so he talked about and I'm going to mispronounce.
That's okay.
The
Joie.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, so this is what he wrote in his end of year. He said, etched bottle number 38 out of 288, signed by winemaker Tina Hammond. It was a glorious drinking experience. This extraordinary wine rivaled any domestic Pinot I have ever drunk. Although Pinot Noir is known as a finicky grape that likes to play hard to get, this wine was beguiling upon opening, and it evolved into an orgasmic experience when I finished the bottle the following day to kick off the new year with a score of 99. That's just absolutely amazing.
It is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It is. Honestly, I think knowing what I know about this place, having only been here a short while,
right?
This hillside, it's just special. There's just something about these vineyards, and Joie is a state ball. It's a flagship estate wine, and it's a blend of our northern block and our southern block. So normally those two blocks are bottled separately, and for one barrel every year we bottle them together, and it's usually roughly about a 50-50 blend. And I think that's my favorite one as well for Privé, and I think that what Rusty's touching on is really true, is that you're getting all these beautiful tannin structure from Le Sud, which is lower in elevation, a little bit warmer, and you're getting all these beautiful kind of lighter, softer, dancing notes out of Le Nord that are happening more because it's a higher elevation, it's cooler, and it gets a different subclimate and microclimate. And so, I would say I agree.
Well, yeah, I yes.
But yeah, I mean, to have someone write something like that anything that I'm even
Right.
remotely correlated to is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
And Tina is a phenomenal winemaker. You know, she's brilliant, and she has taught me a lot. And you know, we raised a glass when we read that, and I said, you know, now you
Right.
can retire pretty confidently, I think.
Yeah. No, that is great.
It's a good way to go out.
It very much is. You know, in the comment that Rusty made about the, you know, the following day, a few weeks ago, I opened up the 2020 Syrah,
Hmm.
and as it, you know, kind of aged and opened up more and more, I was like, this is really good.
Hmm.
I really enjoyed it. It was fabulous, you know, especially on
Good.
day 2.
I opened a 2020 Vineyard last week, Wednesday, and because fellow winemaker was like, "Oh, how are your 20s tasting?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I haven't really tasted them." And I was like, "Oh, I probably should. I should probably do that." So I opened up a bottle of Vineyard, and it gets better and better
Right.
and better as it opens up. It was pretty tight right off the bat. Granted, it's really young,
Right.
but yeah, I think honestly, I found most of our wines to drink better the next day, which is kind of cool.
That is,
That's
it's
like
very
pretty
cool.
hard to create in the winemaking world, so I'm proud to take it.
Yes.
And the Syrah is like, I always tell clients when they come in and taste it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to say this since we make Pinot Noir, but the Syrah is probably my favorite. It's so fun.
It is so good.
It's
And
weird and fun and different than what you think it's going to be, which I love, and
yeah,
it's really fun to make. Syrah is so fun. You know, Pinot really is like the heartbreak grape. It's really finicky. It's hard. I always call it like the ugly stepsister or brother to the Syrah, because I go out there and I can trust the Syrah. Like, I know exactly what it's going to do. I
Right.
know before it even does anything what is going to happen. The Pinot, it's like every day. It's like, who knows? Are they coming home tonight? Don't know. Like, did they try a doobie after school? Probably. I don't know.
Oh no, that's not
Can't
good.
control them. They're just free roaming on their own.
Right.
So, but yeah, I love the Syrah. We try and make it really light in style. Maybe that's kind of fun.
Yeah, and the story that you told me about Tina trying to, you know, actually get grapes from that vineyard.
Lake Helene, what a beautiful vineyard. You know, I had a client today actually email me and say, "Do you think you'll keep making the Syrah? What do you think?" And I was like, "Forever, as long as like Helene will sell me fruit, I will make fruit from them, because
Right.
their farming technique is really stunning. They do such a good job. It's the most beautiful fruit that comes in every year, no matter what, including my own vineyard. So, you know,
Right.
they do a really good job, and it's just fun. It's really fun. We're gonna play around some more with some more varietals out of there, because I think that's how you stay sharp and make better wine in the long run, is to do
Right.
you know, play with stuff and do weird things out of your comfort